everybody? Welcome to Box Seats, a Monday morning edition. And in case you guys don't know, this is the sports comedy talk show where we talk about sports with comedians. So let me bring up my man Talent and my man Big, and of course they got to join in on the show. Fellas, how you guys doing this morning? How's everything?
Fig looks good. He got good lighting. I'm feeling all right. I'm the birthday boy. You know what it is.
Yeah. First of all, happy birthday. How's your happy birthday weekend, Talent?
Oh, it was amazing, man. The love is love, man. I'm still feeling, I woke up feeling great, just like, the love, I'm high on love energy right now.
Yeah, that's what, I almost said something nasty, because it was your birthday week.
He should feeling all, boy, I'm telling you, the people showed out. I had my first show in the COVID era yesterday with Talent, man, and I had a good set, man. I surprised myself. Boy, I was like first time in a year, but it was good. I had a good time.
That's good. Listen, man, y'all do comedy all the time. It's great to hear the comedy coming back. It's great to hear that everything's opening up. So that's always a great thing. It was Mother's Day, so I hope you guys got a chance to enjoy, stuff like that. So you know how that goes. Let's jump into the show, man. First thing I got to talk about is the IOC president. His name is Thomas Bach from the Olympics. He has canceled his trip to Japan because of the surging cases of COVID. And this news was brought out by the Tokyo Olympic Committee. Now, here's the funny thing. The Olympics are supposed to start in 10 weeks. So if the Olympics are supposed to start in 10 weeks, and they're panicking on the Olympics having to shut down stuff right now, and the Olympic president of the committee, does not want to go to Japan, and they're surging cases. Talent, what does that tell you of where we're headed about what's going on with the Olympics right this year?
Well, I tell you one thing, they could probably have to move it last minute. And I tell you one place it's not going to be is in India.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if they're running from COVID, you don't run no more COVID. It seems a little sketchy, Frank. It seems like they're getting a little worrisome. And they might have to make call some audibles on this one. There's probably going to be some last minute changes if these COVID cases stay on steady course.
Right. Fig, do you think the Olympics could possibly get canceled with the surging rise of the COVID cases and everything else? Japan is now surging. You think it could be canceled? At least some events?
Yeah, man, I absolutely do, man. The thing is with the Olympics is that there's so many people from different countries converging on one location, which means you have so many different variables that cannot be controlled in a particular environment unless, we talked about this a long time ago, unless they were able to create a bubble where all of these athletes show up early and just quarantine, if you will, in the bubble until they're able to get the game started and on the go, man. And the fact that they cannot do this, or it is like, how can you do that within 10 weeks? I do not know, but it doesn't look good. And I don't know if you remember, we was talking about in the very beginning, I said that this thing probably would not end until 2023. And people looked at me like I have 6 heads. I'm down to 3 now.
Hey, you doing what you're doing, bro. You said what you said, and it's looking like a reality. Rodney Perry, you joined the show. Let me add Rodney Perry. Rodney Perry, man, what is your thoughts about the Olympics possibly canceling some events? Because the Olympic Committee president, he himself has said, I can't join and I can't be there. You know what I mean? It sounds like a serious thing, bro. What you think?
Well, I mean, I think this vaccine will be the difference maker. If it's proven to really catch on, everything I'm reading said the numbers are going down exponentially. So by virtue of that, I think we'll see a lot of people falling in line, whether it be the Olympics or the NBA or the NFL. I think that the vaccine is going to be the catalyst behind it.
Right. Let me bring in another thing. Here's another thing I got to talk to you guys about the Olympics. On Friday, the news got released. Actually, it was Thursday. News got released too that the Olympics, even though they're moving forward with it and everything else, they don't want any Black Lives Matter stuff to be, appear at the Olympics. They're going to ban and disqualify any athlete, whether he kneels, wears a T-shirt, anything to do with Black Lives Matter or any type of protest, no matter whether you're from the United States, no matter where you're from, if you do any type of protesting in the Olympics, they are going to ban you, and they are going to have a discussion about having your entire team be disqualified for the event. When you hear about that, Talent, what is your thoughts about that?
I don't know, man. I think I'm up in the air on that one. I don't have no feeling towards that. I mean, it seems like, you know, it's more and more a reality. So, I mean, this right here, when we're talking about the protests, I looked at it two ways. I looked at the people who are protesting who are not participate in the Olympics, but are using that platform and big stage to be heard. I have a different review for a player. I think an athlete should be able to, you know, stand by what they stand by. It has nothing to do with, you know, what I'm competing at. I'm still competing, but at the same time, I'm wearing my message. Like, you know, back in the day was pumping the fist, putting the black fist up. You know, that's not harming the games. You know, it is a world stage. People are watching, and it's their chance to say, you know, look at this. I stand for this. I don't like that. I'm against this. Whatever the case may be. If it's not getting in the way of the actual event, you know, and you know, fringing upon that, I don't understand. I don't understand how anybody could ban that or be against that.
All right, well, going on what Talent just said, Fig, I'm gonna throw the question out to you, and I'm gonna even say this to you, Fig. If you hand up your fist like they did in the 60s, you're getting banned. So you can't do that right now. What's your thoughts when you hear about all that right now, Fig?
Well, first off, to risk your life for free to even participate in the Olympics is a sacrifice within itself. As an African American, as an American descendant of slaves, I just can't imagine why equality would be so threatening to the entire world, not just America, but the entire world. Equality is all what Black Lives Matter is about. It's just that I would like the same opportunity and the same pursuit of happiness and quality of life as everybody else on the planet. And you're telling me by your actions that that's a threat, that we would want equality. So what I would say as an African American or a Black descendant of slaves in America, if my skin is brown and I'm an athlete, I do not show up for the Olympics. Let them do it without me. Let them do it with all the Europeans, the Asians, and anybody else that want to participate in the Olympics. But as a person with brown skin, I would have to make the conscious effort, not only for myself, but for my children and my children's children and the rest of everybody else with brown skin on the planet, that I just can't be a part of the Olympics. If that's what you feel about me and the quality of my life, then I have to exclude myself from your competition.
Rodney Perry, you agree or disagree with what he just said?
I think Fig is losing his mind. So, but I respect his comment 3,000%. So here goes. The ban is not necessarily a Black Lives Matter ban. It's a ban on, and I'm quoting, political gestures of any political nature, hand gestures, kneeling, and basically the core of this policy is that sports are neutral and must stay separate from political, religious, and any other types of interference. So I think ultimately they're looking to not sully the Olympic Games with political stances. And can you control that? We won't know until somebody do something.
And we won't know until somebody do something who's on a big enough, high enough plane, high enough level that people
if
could
anybody do something.
No, I get that. Anybody do it at all. Even if you can't wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, you can't hold a political statement, you can't hold a fist in the air, you can't do anything like that. So, but if the person who does it, let's say, I'm throwing this out there, let's say somebody breaks a world record and they literally, it is the first time, or let's say it's the basketball team, the U.S. basketball team, they get a gold medal, and while they're being in that finals, or they actually win, they hold up. What happens then? You know what I mean? Because I don't think anybody's going to do anything while they're ramping up. I think people will probably do it when they get medals. Because that's the most time when most cameras are on you. I don't know.
What I want to say, Frank? Basic equality is not political to me. I don't care what nobody says. That's not about politics. That's about humanity. Where's the humanity of this whole thing? This is not about sports. It's not about politics. It's not my party against your party. It's about human decency and equality for all people. That's not political.
No doubt.
That's absolutely political. And I'm going to tell you why, Mr. Fig. It's political when you wait to do it at the Olympics. It becomes political.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's right.
My skin is brown everywhere I go, whether I'm at the Olympics, I'm at a baseball game, I'm at home, I'm at church, I'm at school, I'm kneeling, I'm standing, my fist is in the air, I got my arms folded. My skin is brown everywhere I go on the face of this planet, and it's seen as such. So wherever I want to promote my skin being equal to everybody else's skin on the face of this planet, it's not political, it's more humanity. To me, in my opinion.
No, your opinion makes absolute sense. But what the Olympics is trying to do, as you can imagine, is they're trying not to blur the lines between politics and sports. They're just trying to separate.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, and both guys are right, but you got to understand. The biggest point is this, Fig. You're absolutely right, but here's the thing: when you promote your skin or how you feel about your skin or equality, all of these are issues, right? So the minute you bring your issues to another person's workplace, it changes everything. It's just like any other corporation where they don't want to be involved. We just want to sell coffee, right? Like Starbucks, right. You know, had that thing where don't wear your shirts here. You know what I mean? Like come to work with regular shirts. Starbucks, put your thing on, do your job. We want people to come and go. We only want to give them a moment to look at your shirt and now have an opinion. And now you got a discussion or a heated discussion or argument going on. So the Olympics are looking at it like that. Yeah, we understand all these things are going on in the world. It's a million issues from homelessness, you know, to equality, to all of these things. But the minute you use this stage and bring it here, it becomes political. And that is a fact.
You guys are absolutely right. But the one thing, and this is my last statement on it, is that until you make people feel uncomfortable about what it is that's going on, like when is it comfortable for me to be brown? Where can I go where it's comfortable for me to be brown? And why is it that I have to make everybody else comfortable where they are when I'm uncomfortable everywhere?
You know, Fig, you know what you're trying to do, Fig? You're trying to make us talk about this for an hour, bro. Because you keep bringing
I think he's making a fair
point. He's bringing up great points. He's bringing up great points.
I mean, and we're going to talk about it for hours. It's just like, you stay home.
Yeah,
and that's what I said in the beginning, Rodney. I said that if I was a black athlete, and that's the stance that the Olympic Committee took, I would stay home.
You cold. I would. You the coldest. You colder than you ever been. You peaking right now, and you gonna stay home and fuck off 4 more years?
I have to. Yes, I would.
You going to run?
You'd be surprised. They said the same thing about Muhammad Ali. They said Muhammad Ali would not. They said that he was going into the. He wasn't going to protest the war and take a stand. Sometimes, and it gets to a point where sometimes you have to take a stand for who you are as opposed to what it is that you do.
I agree.
That's very true.
But
when your shot is every 4 years, boxing you can come in whenever you want. You know, with any other sport, you can come in whenever you want.
That's true. That changes.
The Olympics only plays every 4 years. If you miss out for this round and you miss the next one, you could even age out. You know what I mean? So it depends. It really depends.
You know what? Like Muhammad Ali went to the Olympics and he won, and then when he came home, he couldn't go downtown to Kentucky and eat in a diner with everybody else. And when he realized what the significance of his gold medal was when you fight for America and America doesn't fight for you, he said he threw away his medal. He threw it in the river. That's taking a stand for who you are.
Fig, you want to talk about this for the whole hour? Because if you keep bringing up statements like that, we'll talk about this for the whole hour.
I'm not going to say anything else.
All right, I'm just saying, because I got other stories I want to get to. So let's
worse than the Olympic Committee.
Yeah, I am. Because I only got an hour. I only got an hour. So if you all want to
make one more political statement, put your ass out of here.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's move on.
Marcus Garvey.
I got to talk about my man DK Metcalf. because I want to talk about DK because DK did his thing. Now everybody's up there, everybody has an opinion. And I'm gonna start with you, Talon, because DK Metcalf, he got his track debut. He ran 100 meters in 10.37 seconds. He finished 15 out of 17. Were you impressed, Talon, with that? He's an NFL player. He's 6'5", 6'6". He ran with these small dudes who were 5'5", 5'7", and he was a tenth, maybe a whole full second off. Wasn't even like they got dusted. He was in the race. You know what I mean?
Man,
in the race.
That's impressive. That's very impressive, man. You running with the little dudes. Big dude running with the little dudes and with like a tenth of a second off. I'm super impressed. I mean, whoever ain't impressed, let me see you do it.
Yeah, great.
Anybody say they ain't impressed? Let me see you do it. Let's see your horrible bum ass numbers.
What's your thoughts?
I run a 15.9. That's what I'm.
For the record, he's lying. He runs a 40-40, and he runs a 40-40.
No, exactly. No, but the thing is that it really is impressive for a football player that doesn't train in track to be able to get on the track with world-class athletes and be able to be 2/100ths of a second off the top speed. Super impressive. I would love to see what DK Metcalf could do if he had the opportunity to train on the track. You know what I mean? Like track and field athletes do. I think that he would be able to do better. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think that he would be able to increase his time or his speed if he trained for it. These guys train year round to be able to reach that top speed. And we know that most of the time DK Metcalf is on the football field. He's lifting weights. It's training your body to do different things at different times. So the fact that he could do what he did is very impressive. Very impressive.
Rodney Perry, world-class athlete or what? DK Metcalf, what's your thoughts?
Oh, of course he's a world-class athlete, but you got to respect other athletes. 2 seconds or 2/10 of a second is a lot. It's a lot. Only reason we even considered it is because he was an NFL player. If he was a track runner and lost for 2/10 of a second, they'd be like, get your slow ass off the field.
You know what?
I mean, I get it. We got to respect other people's sport. Like Fig said, he would have to go and change his whole life to be able to deal with them dudes all the time.
The funny thing is
remarkable that he walked out there, yoked up, big football player, came like he did. He would still have to change his life to constantly compete on that level. I think it's remarkable what he did, but come on, dog. You might as well come sit with us.
Yeah, the funny thing is, that's very true.
The person I know that was able to do that a little on the level that played football. Y'all remember Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
He had some blinding speed as a football player and was able to run, on the Olympic level.
Yeah.
This is the only time we were able to talk about somebody who lost and make headlines in the news. DK Metcalf. Right. Well, I don't even know who won the race, but everybody's talking about.
Yeah, how about that?
Who lost the race? All right,
Isaiah Young had the fastest time.
All right, let's keep things rolling on. Thank you, Rodney Perry, for that. Let's talk about the Derby horse, man. I don't know if you guys caught the news of this, but the Derby horse, his name was Medina Spirit.
Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, the Derby horse. The Bob Dafferty's Derby horse, who raced in Kentucky Derby, is going to probably get his Kentucky Derby license, his Kentucky Derby championship thing stripped from him because he was found to have some banned substances in his bloodstream and when he did his testing and everything else. So I'm gonna start out with you, Talon. You tell me, should they strip the Kentucky Derby race from the guy's name is Bob Dafferty? Bob Dafferty was in there. Should they strip it from him because he got caught cheating? What you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a dumbass question. Should we strip because he got caught cheating? Key words is caught cheating. Strip his ass. Take his horse. Take the other horse. He got dogs. Get his dogs. Whatever he got, take that shit.
All right, Fig, what you think?
He should be stripped. Now, when I saw this story, they said that his horse had double the amount of the illegal amount of what it was that the horse was supposed to have to be able to run. He was over the limit by 2 times,
Right.
which means the horse was doped up. And I hate to bring this up. Please forgive me. I am not making a comparison with men and women. I mean, horses and women. But when you talk about transgenders and them having more testosterone in their body than women, this is exactly what it is that we're talking about. This horse had too much, basically, testosterone to be able to run legally, and he's being stripped of his winnings because it was unfair.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
So I'm reading about it. So apparently the drug in question is an anti-inflammatory drug called betamethasone. So this drug is used for inflammation, and they gave him too much of it. He was out there like, I'm feeling good. So I mean, maybe it's an honest mistake, or maybe they were cheating, but whatever they did, it was wrong. And sorry for the horse. The name of the horse is Medina Spirit. So Medina Spirit need to go fade off.
Hey, did you hear the guy's official response?
What do you think?
He said everybody else doing cocaine.
Hey, listen.
Happy birthday, Talent.
Yo,
Thank you.
all I know is this. I don't know about how fast that horse ran, but all I know is this. That horse's tail is worth millions on the open market.
Talent, I gotta say something to you, brother. Why you have one person dry stitch so everybody else talk about everybody else?
Because you know he said that. You know we think about taking it back the title because he's doing drugs. He said everybody else doing cocaine.
Come on, dog.
That's dry stitch on a whole other level. What you mean? Everybody else doing it. That's dry stitch. All right, y'all, let me move this thing on and talk about the next thing. I don't know if y'all we had this discussion about this last week. We talked about Albert Pujols, but the news, Sports Illustrated did something over the weekend where they said, listen, Albert Pujols, he didn't go out like the way normal guys go out. He went out in flames. When he was told that he was out of the lineup, he yelled at the manager. He screamed on the manager, Joe Madden. He told management he wasn't retiring. He blasted management skills. He was cussing stuff in the dugout. He was throwing stuff in the dugout. He basically was going off on people. He wanted to fight people. He just didn't like the way he was going out. And the Angels, in turn, when they announced that normally they say they give you a ceremony, you know what I mean, especially when you're about to be in the Hall of Fame, they give you a ceremony. The Angels didn't even do anything. All they did was release a press statement saying he was getting ready to cut. Talent, when you hear about this news, what do you think?
Well, I mean, a press release saying that you're about to get cut or you're leaving or whatever the case may be, chips are going to fall where they fall. I mean, I don't know if there's something in writing. A lot of times there's these clauses where you're not allowed to do such things like that to this official. So, I mean, you jump the gun and you know, press release is a press release, bro. You put yourself out there. You know what I mean? And I understand, you know, he's that guy. He's been in the game, man. He wants to go out swinging and fighting and mad at the world or whatever the case may be. You know, stuff is going to happen, but we can't be. I think we do things and then we think of the ramifications or repercussions later. Like, you got to know what's coming.
Okay, all right.
You got to know what's coming.
Fig, I'm gonna throw the question to you next, and I'm gonna say this, and see if you agree or disagree with what he said. He should at least got a ceremony or something. He's a Hall of Fame player, right? I mean,
go out fighting.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame player. He should have got some kind of recognition from the Angels, no matter what he did the last day or two, right? I mean, he has a whole career. But what you think?
I think he just basically said to himself, "I'm not going out like that." He said, "You're not gonna throw me out unceremoniously. I need my ceremony. I want my flowers. I want my cake. I want my fight. Where's my parade? What about me? That's what he said.
And the Angels in turn said absolutely nothing about you. No ceremony, no nothing. He ain't even getting no flowers. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts on Albert Pujols going crazy in the dugout and everything? What you think?
Well, here goes, guys. I mean, I served in the United States Navy, and they had this concept called attaboys versus all shit. Attaboy versus all shit. So over a career, you amass all these attaboys. Hey, man, you did good. Attaboy. Well done, attaboy. But guess how many all shits it take to mess up all them attaboys?
One.
Yes, sir. Yes,
One
sir.
all shit could trample all that. And the thing about all these guys, Albert and Aaron and all these guys, this is the thing. When it's over, it's over. The NFL don't give a damn.
Right.
Major League Baseball don't give a damn. We have paid you for many years. Thank you, sir, for your service. Now get out of my locker room.
and you know what he said? Everybody else doing cocaine.
Okay.
Y'all celebrate everybody else. Everybody's doing cocaine.
Come on.
Yo,
man.
they did that to him because his name is Albert. You can't get a ceremony with a name like Albert. It should have been something else.
But I mean, I think that these players start feeling like that they're like they really like me, and they find out 100 out of 100 times that these big leagues do not care.
They like you for long. What you doing for me lately? That's what it all boils down to in baseball. Now, speaking of baseball, what you do for me lately, I'm going to start with you, Talent. A couple of weeks ago, actually about maybe 5 weeks ago, when we were looking at how great the Dodgers were doing, we were saying, wow, the Dodgers doing this, Dodgers doing that. Baseball experts were predicting that they were going to have the best record of all time in baseball. After this weekend, the Dodgers have slipped and continue to slip right now. I'm going to ask you, the Dodgers could still eclipse the Yankees. They could still be the possibility of it. But right now, they lost 15 out of 20. They lost the weekend series over with the Angels. And here's the big thing, and this is the killer thing. They are on pace right now with the top three pitchers and everything else to obviously flip and not be the best team in baseball. And now they've dropped 4 in ranking. 3 weeks ago, they would have number 1 team in baseball. Is it too early? Dodgers panic? What do you think?
I think it's too early. We discussed this time and time again, how long the actual baseball season is, the amount of games, and you're allowed, it's so long, you're allowed to have a month or 2 or 3 slumping. You know what I mean? That's just how long the season is. But I think, we're talking too much too soon. Give them a chance to, get their legs back under them, so to speak, and get back on the ball. Because you got to realize this, man, that honeymoon thing is a real thing. When you come off of, hitting that top ceiling or whatever, and you come into that next season, everybody's going to expect you to fight to repeat and be at the top or whatever. But you are going to be having that, celebratory time frame. And for other people, it varies. You got some people celebrate one night. They go out, they get lit, and they back on the rubber band train, right? But then you got people that they celebrate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks into the season because it's a long season. And then they start to get their feet under them and say, okay, let's hunker down and let's go for it. You know what I mean? I think the Dodgers they're in there finding themselves, but I think they're going to spin it back around. It's too early.
Fig, get that.
I echo everything Talon said, but what I'd like to add to it is the fact that when everybody is celebrating you, you know what I mean, the outsides, the talking heads and stuff like that, the rest of the teams, they target you and they come after you. It's like, oh yeah. Oh, really? They all that? Huh? Oh, all right. Let's see. Now you got everybody's best effort. It's like the champion always gets everybody's best game. You know what I mean? And Talon said, look, it's just the beginning of the season. I think baseball is like, 13, 14 months long? You know what I mean? So it's like an everlasting season. And it also reminds me of the time, case in point, when the Chicago Bulls management was courting Tony Kukoc. And he was supposed to be the golden boy. It pissed off Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen to the point that when they met them in the Olympics, they attacked this dude like ravaged dogs. Seems like about the same thing that's happening to the Dodgers right now.
Rodney Perry, the Dodgers have lost 5 straight series. 5. which takes it all the way back to almost 2 months ago. 5 straight series. You agree with what's being said?
No, the Dodgers done, man. You know, I mean, the thing about professional sports is that, you know, from season to season, people get better. And it'll be great to go. It's a long season and they're going to figure it out, but they probably won't. You know, there's other teams that had a year to look at them and realize what they did wrong, and they come into play and put foot to some Dodger ass.
You know, the funny thing is, what Fig said, I think players took it personal when all the experts picked and said it out personally, you know, publicly. I mean, that, hey, the Dodgers should be the best team of all time ever to play, and a lot of teams took that personally. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of teams took it
So
personally.
we ain't playing this year? Huh?
Yeah. That's how they took it. Like, I think that's how they
Everybody
took it.
goes
Let's move on. All right, let me move on, because you know I want to get to a couple of different things. And in the WNBA news, I thought this was pretty interesting. The Sparks, the Chicago Sparks, they were the Chicago Sky actually released and put Gabby Williams. They basically had her suspended for the season. When they suspended her because of statements she made, the Sparks acquired her. Now, they acquired her on the news that Derek Fisher gave them, because guess what? Derek Fisher is the head coach of the Sparks. He said, let's acquire her while she's suspended, because why she made political statements. Talon, you hear this news about a team acquiring one team, the other team's best player who got suspended, because they can do that in the WNBA. What is your thoughts about that?
Well, first of all, my thoughts is the question is like, if you get suspended from one team because of a political statement, right, and then another team picks you up or acquire you, does that mean that new team's going to allow you to talk that shit?
Probably. Yeah.
Is that, you know what I mean? Like if I say something like, you know, Fig was just talking about that with the Olympics. If I say, hey, you know, Black Lives Matter, and then my team go, yo, get rid of them, right? And they let me go, and there's another team go, we want him, we'll pick him up, give him a contract. Do that mean I can go over there, take my knee, and say Black Lives Matter and pump my fist? That's the bigger question. You know what I mean? Or is it one of them slap on the wrist things, and they call you in the office when you get to the new team and say, don't do that shit over here?
Great point.
That's the question.
Great point, Talon. Fig, you agree?
I believe it. I believe what Talon said. I believe it's along those lines, because what one team's political views doesn't necessarily mean that the other team feels that way. It really boils down to the owners. And I'm not sure what the political statement was. And Frank, thank you for that education, because I had no idea that if a WNBA player gets suspended, then another team has the right to acquire them. That's insane. Could you imagine if that happened in the NBA? Like an NBA team suspend a player, and then because that team is suspended, another team can pick him up? Whoa. Drop the bomb on that news. That would be absolutely insane. It's almost like when the New York Knicks picked up Latrell Sprewell because he choked his coach. It was like, that's the kind of player we want. That's news, man. That's big.
Yeah. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts?
I didn't know y'all was coming to me so quick.
Everybody else doing it.
Everybody doing cocaine. Look, I mean, it ain't but 9 players in the WNBA. Okay, so if you suspend her, we want her. Okay, you can't be suspending nobody. We ain't got but 5, 7 good women, and if we can't get no transgenders in here, what is we gonna do?
Rodney,
I can't with this, yo.
Rodney, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. All right, man. Let's talk about the WNBA before Rodney takes this whole train off the track. Like, I mean, he won't finish the show. Can we finish the show, please? Can we finish the show? All right, let's talk about the Lakers, man. The Lakers are making the biggest news, man, over the weekend because the Lakers, they actually won against Phoenix. I didn't think they were going to beat Phoenix, but they actually beat Phoenix, and they beat Phoenix handily. But not right now, the question is the Lakers are still headed to the play-in tournament. Talent, do you think that the Lakers are all right now? They righted the ship, or do you think I ain't paying them no more? I ain't paying them no mind. Do you think the Lakers are all right?
No, I think that you got all-stars over there like Anthony Davis. He's bound to have a great game. We can't forget who he is as a player. So that 40-plus point game is bound to happen sporadically all over the place. You're going to get those. Does that mean that they are on this Bogart straight course to be the top again? No, hell no. He had the nerve to say in a post interview talking about it don't matter what seed they are. Nigga, please.
Hey, what's your thought?
Yo, man, it's a regular season. Anthony Davis balled out like the dog that he is. You understand what I'm saying? He had a hell of a game. One for the ages, one that you could talk about, tell your grandchildren, one day, tell them about that game that you had that one night. But you got to do it in a 7-game series. And the one point that we got on Anthony Davis is, can he stay healthy?
Yeah. Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
You guys kill me. you guys kill me. So wait.
I knew it was coming.
I mean, the one thing is, can he stay healthy? What the Hey guys, the Lakers gonna win the championship again. Write it down.
Hey,
Write
Rodney
it
Perry.
down.
Rodney Perry, put that credit card down, bro.
I know who's not gonna win. It won't be the Bostons.
It won't be.
And it won't be the Knicks or the Nets or the Jets or the Giants.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Or what's y'all soccer team name? Them either. Or the Liberty.
Them either.
No, it won't be it won't. Matter of fact, New Edition ain't even get a Grammy this year.
I want somebody to record this. We are going to circle back at the end of the championship season.
Wait a minute. You know what?
Where Chicago is.
The only thing is that to question Anthony Davis' health is a fair assessment because we do the same thing with other players that have shown a propensity to be injured throughout the course of the NBA season. We did the same thing with the Nets. The only way that we give the Nets any kind of props, any kind of kudos at all, is always based on the fact if the big three are healthy. KD, Kyrie, James Harden. Always if they're healthy. So why can't we do it with Anthony Davis too? It'd be a fair assessment.
This is different, Figment Freud. This is the difference. You talk about Gimpy 1 and 2. Gimpy number 1 is Kyrie Irving. He's been Gimpy for years. Not one season, for years.
AD
in the bubble.
In New Orleans, AD was
he not in New Orleans.
He was hurt all the time. This has been his whole career.
All right, let's keep this going. Let's continue this going. Let's keep this thing rolling. All right, Talon, I'm gonna start with you, man. The Celtics right now, they lost to the Heat. The Heat look like they're surging, and the Celtics look like they're crashing. Should the Boston Celtics be concerned? And should people look out for the Miami Heat? Because we're in the last week of the playoffs. What you think about that news, Talon? What's your thoughts?
Well, the Celtics should have been concerned at the beginning of this damn season. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they should be in concern. I think the Heat is doing exactly what it's doing. It's turning up the heat. You know what I mean? So we at the same time, it's called a perfect storm. You got one team that's turning up the heat while the other team is not playing their best basketball, and you see what it's looking like, the end result. The Celtics have to hunker down. They got to start playing some more team ball. I think they got into the individual game over the last month or so. If you watch a Celtic game, you'll see the game will be all about this player, or the game will be all about this player. Instead of Celtics are always at their best when all cylinders fire. You know what I mean? When they're working that ball around and you got 4 or 5 players in double figures, that's a solid team. That's teamwork. That's camaraderie. That's what the Celtics got to get back to, instead of, so-and-so had 35 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Brown with 35. There's a lot of that right now. Kemba Walker with a great game with 27 and 10 assists, but it's none of that overall camaraderie going on.
Right.
Meanwhile, at the same time, the heat is being turned up over there.
Yeah. Fig, the Celtics they're about to be in the play-in tournament, and if they make it to the playoffs, they're going to be facing first round the Bucks or the Nets. Celtics are crashing. What's your thoughts?
The fact that Jaylen Brown is out and they haven't been consistent all year is scary. We talked about in the very beginning of the year that we thought the Boston Celtics would be contenders. We thought they'd be in the top 3 or 4 for sure, with Milwaukee, the Nets, and Milwaukee, the Nets, and Philadelphia. We thought that the Boston Celtics would be right up there. Something is going terribly wrong. I don't know whether it is the chemistry or what, but we know that they've had some injuries and some COVID issues. So maybe that's the problem. But what's dangerous is the team that made it to the finals and got injured last year is starting to trend up. Now, the one thing that we know about Miami, they play a hell of a defense with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo over there. Very dangerous team. They're dogs. They scrap. They fight. They go for loose balls, and they and they can score. So you don't want to see Miami in the playoffs this year, because that's a very dangerous team, and their team is getting healthy now. So you have Bam Adebayo, you have Goran Dragic, which was their number 1 scorer, who went out last year, and Bam Adebayo was a little gimpy. So that's a dangerous team, and quite possibly in a 7-game series, it's a pick 'em, because anybody can win when those guys are on the floor and they're healthy.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
The Boston Celtics, man, they just not scrappy enough, and I like them guys. They don't have a true leader. Their coaching is suspect. It's just too many boxes they're just not checking. And on the flip side of that, the Heat is just super scrappy. The Heat ain't the best team. They ain't great. They're not great, but they scrappy. They men. They get out there and they punch you in the face, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to see the Celtics not beat.
I gotta put up with this every other day. I swear to God. We talk about the New York Knicks, man, because I said last week that they are going to turn some things around. They're going to shock some heads. I told you who they were going to lose to, and I told you who they were going to win to. So far, I'm 2-0 in my predictions. So far, I got 2 more games. They beat the Clippers yesterday. So you shaking your head?
I noticed you didn't mention that nonsense you said about the Lakers losing 4 games in a row.
Okay, well, I'm 500 with that.
Go ahead.
I'm 500 with that. I'm 500 with that. Talent. I told everybody out there last week who the Knicks was going to lose to. They did. They lost that game. They will lose, and I told everybody who they going to win to. They beat the Clippers. They got 2 more games. Talent. The Knicks are surging. They beat the Clippers. Things are heading in the right direction. What's your thoughts about them?
Well, first of all, Frank, you can't be changing phrases and making up phrases in the middle of the movie. He said, I told them who they're going to lose to and who they're going to win to. Ain't no such thing as win to. You can't win to somebody. When have you ever seen somebody win to somebody? Hey, I lost to them, but I won to them. You won to them.
You know what I mean, nigga.
I'm just happy you on my side and you recognizing the real with my Knicks, baby.
I never said that either.
I'm on the phone ordering some jerseys right now for the Knicks That's my birthday gift to myself. Get some real new Knicks paraphernalia and clothes. You were right, and I think you got the nail on the head in this one. I think the teams you said, I think it's gonna all even out the way you called it. But I'm just so happy right now. Like the New York vibe right now is crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when I was working, so when I got to look at my phone and see that they beat the Clippers,
woo,
dude, right now, we might as well be if we feel like we're in first place.
I noticed you didn't call me and say, "Hey, Frank, you was right. You was right. You called that."
Only because I was working. Like I had a triple decker yesterday. It was the birthday. Yeah. So I woke up at 10:30 in the morning and started hitting the road to go to get gigs. Started at 12 noon. I was like, damn. But I got it done. You know what I mean? And then I looked at my phone and seen that 6-point win.
All right, okay. All right, Fig. I noticed you didn't call me either to tell me, Frank, you was right. You was right about the Knicks. How you feeling about the Knicks right now?
Well, I was at Talent Show yesterday for the early show in Westchester, so I didn't see it either, but I recorded the game, and when I realized that the Knicks had won, I was in complete shock because I really believed that it was because of the quality of the teams that the Knicks had to play, they would go over. Frank, I don't know if you remember, but I remember when somebody's talking about my team, I remember exactly what they said. You picked a 3 out of 5, and I was like, I ain't so sure 3 out of 5 because they had Phoenix, they had the Lakers, they had the Clippers. I was just like, those are 3 tough teams right there, and I'm not sure that we're gonna get them. Pleasantly surprised to see the Knicks beat the Clippers yesterday. They got the Lakers next. We see Anthony Davis is trending. We see that LeBron James might come back, and we just don't have that caliber of players just yet. But the Knicks are trending in the right direction, and for that reason, I'm really happy.
I'm gonna still stick with what I said. The Knicks are going to beat the Lakers on Tuesday night. I'm still sticking with that because the Lakers still are not where they're supposed to be. But Rodney Perry's gonna disagree. So Rodney Perry, what do you think about this?
Frank. The question is Frank ever right?
You don't want to go there.
I'm gonna say
you won't go there.
I'm gonna say a broke clock is right twice a day. So yes, Frank is right, man. Well done, Frank. I mean, let's applaud our brother, man. He finally, said something, And is this supposed to be a Pelican brief?
No.
Okay.
It's not Pelican.
Hey, all jokes aside, man. I'm happy for the Knicks, man. I'm waiting for y'all to jump off the bandwagon. Is it gonna be Fig first or is it gonna be Talent first? Who's gonna jump off the bandwagon?
Nah, none of them gonna jump off the bandwagon. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna jump off. They're gonna ride it. Especially this year. This year's not the year because at the end of the day, the Knicks are gonna be. Last year, the Miami Heat was a surprise team in the playoffs. This year, my Pelican brief is gonna be the Knicks. Gonna be the surprise team in the playoffs. That's my Pelican brief.
So when the Knicks come off the rails and start being piles of dookie,
they won't.
When they do, which one of these guys fall off the bandwagon first, in your opinion?
In my opinion, they're gonna hold off until they fall, until they hit splat on the ground. I don't think either one of them gonna let go.
Hey Rodney, let me just tell you this. My one prayer is that before I check out of here, that my Knicks get one. I'm never jumping on, and there is no bandwagon for me because I'm never jumping off. I'm Knicks for life, man. Win or lose, till the wheels come off, I'm not jumping.
All right, let's move on. I want to get this last couple of NFL statements in here because the Jets had a mini camp this weekend, Talent. They had a mini camp. And your what's that kid's name? That Zach Wilson kid impressed everybody at the Jets mini camp. Everybody's talking about how good this kid is supposed to be doing. So I'm gonna circle back with a question that I asked you weeks ago before the draft, and then again after the draft. Is Zach Wilson going to end up being better than the guy everybody was so quick to trade to get up out of here? What do you think?
Hey, listen, sky's the limit. Potential is a big word. But it is exactly that, potential. So potential is a word with a question mark in the end of it. I don't know. Again, I'm still waiting to see what the final play is with my green team. And right now, you want him to be good because anybody that you go and get, you don't go against them. You want them to be good because good is better for the team. So I'm a team player. I'm hoping he is, but he has the potential. He showed it. He got the potential. Sky's the limit with him, Frank. You know what I mean?
All right. Hey, Fig, is the New York media just jumping the gun talking about the Zach Wilson kid? Because it's only a Jets minicamp.
You know, I always like to hit the pause button when you talk about mini camps because is the defense actually going to go really hard against the new draftee, possibly starting quarterback? No, I want to see what he looks like in the real action. I mean, it seems promising. I still believe that the Jets should have kept what they had and built around this kid, but I'm not an expert. I don't know about this kid, Zach Wilson, just yet. I'd like to wait and see. He played for Brigham Young.
Yeah, Rodney Perry, you get the last word of the show today. Were we talking about this Knicks quarterback, this Zach Wilson kid? Are we looking at the gun too early? Because, you know, the New York media, did they jump the gun too early trying to crown this kid? Because it's only a minicamp.
Let me tell you something. This is the thing about New York. They can't wait to pull their pants down and dookie down that man's back. Anything they say good is good. If they say anything good about that man, just know it's true. Like they can't wait for him not to be nothing. But the kid is performing and it gives them hope. And so hope is a tough thing. In the words of the great Jesse Jackson. Upward hope, downward dope.
You know something? You know, doom sells. You know what I'm saying? In any sports, in anything else, and especially in New York market, doom sells. If the team's doing good, it don't sell. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why they hoping that he does good. So you're absolutely right. I think if he's doing good, they gotta say that he's doing good because they're waiting for that minute for him to fall off. That they just thought. All right, y'all, that's the show. We gotta get ready to roll up out of here, man. Everybody, thank you all for watching. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all had a great Mother's Day weekend. Talent. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you because right now you the birthday boy, right?
Man. The birthday tour. Follow me, man. Stay on all the platforms because all types of things are going to be happening each and every day this month of May. My Twitter is @It'sJustComedy. I'm Talent Doug Comedian on Instagram and King Talent Harris on Facebook. Follow your boy. Follow your boy. Follow your boy.
All three of us married men. I'm gonna be calling you up after this to find out how, vicariously. Joe, so what really happened this weekend?
Fig seen it.
No, I didn't. I ain't seen Fig. Seen the Fig. What happened? Talk to me. Tell me. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Fig, tell everybody out there how they can follow you. Don't tell me.
First off, I want to say happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there that watch the show. We really appreciate you. Happy birthday to my man Talent. Again, you can follow me on all social media platforms @Comedian Fig, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Box Seats, baby. The best damn sports show on TV where Rodney Perry sniffs cocaine.
I want to also say a happy belated birthday to my wifey. She had a birthday yesterday too at the same time, and I'm still tired from that celebration. It was an all weekend thing, boy. Woo. So she had a great time too. So
shout out to the wife, man. Shout out to the wife.
Thank you.
Shout out to
I never heard Frank bragging about doing his thing like that.
No, I wasn't. No.
Hey, I never put
That would be a whole different show, Rodney. It'd be a whole different show.
It's your boy Rodney Perry, RodneyPerry.com, Rodney Perry Live on all social media.
Y'all, thank you all for watching the show. I'm going to delete Rodney Perry now. I just want y'all to know that's what's ready to happen. We'll be back tomorrow. The show's called The Box Seats. You know how we do. This channel is Humor Mill. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We also got guests this week. We've learned some stuff. We'll see how it is. That's big. Rodney Perry got deleted. So you know how we do. We get down. We'll see y'all tomorrow.